Hello everyone, and welcome to 6 things I loved or hated about the Australian Grand Prix. So it was great to have the season back, wasn't it? So I thought I'd put this video up, and filming it from my office at work just because why not? Didn't really have a better place to film, so I thought I'd film it. Everyone's gone home thankfully, so there's no one behind the camera, so let's get into it. Well, I couldn't do this video without mentioning Charlie Whiting, of course, passing on, I believe it was a Wednesday just before the Grand Prix. Very, very sad passing, and actually it hit me quite hard. I'm always quite surprised when a death of someone that I've never met does hit me, but this one did, just because he was such a huge figure in the sport, wasn't he? He was the person that the teams and drivers always went to. He was the person between the teams and the drivers and the FIA. He was that man, but not only that, he seemed like a really genuine guy. Again, I was never lucky enough to meet him, but he really did seem like a really genuine guy, really well respected across the paddock. And on the morning that we learned of his passing, just Twitter was just completely full. My timeline was completely full of people talking about him and how they missed him and how sad they were. And I think that tells you everything you need to know about the man. So rest in peace, Charlie. And Sky Sports actually put out a really good video on him. If you haven't, I will put a link down in the description. I suggest you go and watch that. That was a really, really good video. And yeah, he will be sorely missed. Next up then, we've got the brand new aero rules. So they changed the rules quite a bit for 2019, much more simplified front wings. I believe they simplified the barge boards and things as well. So I thought they were a good improvement actually. I did love them. It was really good to see the cars be able to follow a little bit closer. Granted, there wasn't a crazy amount of overtaking still, but they were definitely able to follow closer, and the Australian Grand Prix is known for being hard to overtake at. So actually, I think at a track like Bahrain, next time out, I think we're going to get so much overtaking because they could definitely follow closer. There was no doubt about that. And, you know, we did have some good races here. We had some battling amongst top teams, which you rarely get unless there's a real big difference. And I love it. I'm looking forward to the season, and even more so, I'm looking forward to 2021 when they do even more of these regulations where cars can follow even closer. Next up then, it's a point for fastest lap. Brand new rule for the season. You get 1 point if you set a fastest lap and you finish in the top 10 of the standings. And I loved it. I liked it. I thought it added something to the end of the race. It meant that, you know, someone like Valtteri Bottas, who of course won the race in dominant fashion, it meant that he didn't just turn his engine right down and just cruise to the end, cross the line, you know, thanks for the win. It meant he was going on the radio going, guys, can I come in for new tyres? You know, what are we going to do? Even though apparently they'd agreed before the race that we wouldn't go for fastest lap if they were in a winning position. So I think it's going to liven up the end of the races, you know, and I think, you know, sometimes you will get cars pitting and coming out, and sometimes races do calm down a bit towards the end. So I think this is going to be a definite good change, and I'm quite excited to see what happens over the next few races. Next up then, it's Ferrari team orders. We're only in the first race and Ferrari team orders are already back. Can't believe it. I was surprised at this. I hated it. I was very surprised. You know, Charles Leclerc, brand new driver. You know, you thought they were going to probably prioritise Vettel, maybe later down the line in the season, but no. Race 1, he was catching him probably, what was he, over half a second quicker per lap, and got really close, got within a second, and then I guess he made the big mistake of saying, hey guys, would you mind ever so kindly if I was allowed to have a go at Vettel? Of course they're going to say no. It's Ferrari. They're always going to say no. So I think he's going to need to be a bit more fiery next time and really and just go for it. And then if the team tells him no, then maybe not. And then at some point he's going to have to go against the team and say, do you know what, guys? No. Vettel's no longer the #1 driver. I'm going to go for this. And then to add to that, they didn't even pit in for new tyres to let him try for a fastest lap. I thought that was a really weird decision. I think they might not have had any extra soft tyres, I'm not too sure, but even so, pit him for a brand new set of the medium tyres and let him have a go. He had like a 35-second gap to the team behind. So race 1 and Ferrari are already employing team orders and have got a bad strategy. So we'll see if that carries on, but I hope not. You know, Charles Leclerc did have a pretty good race overall, so fingers crossed that they don't keep this team orders nonsense up. Well, we had a fiery Valtteri Bottas. Where's this come from? He was almost like Iceman #2 last season. He was really chill and seemed genuinely happy that Lewis Hamilton won and he got beaten. Was always fine and just kind of seemed quite comfortable in the #2 role, which I think is almost part of the reason Mercedes retained him, to be honest. And next thing you know, he's grown a new beard. There was a few memes about that was the cause, and suddenly he's dominating the race for a start. He also, after he crossed the line, said, to whom it may concern, F*** off. What? Where's that come from? Yes, Valtteri, really fiery. Apparently that was aimed, well, we don't really know. He said they would know who it's aimed at, and apparently lost his personal sponsor over the off-season, so maybe it was that, I don't know. But that was great. And then also on the podium was quite awkward. He kind of returned to his almost Iceman form, didn't he, on the podium, when Webber said, "What did you have for breakfast, Valtteri?" Because that was amazing. And Bottas just sort of said, I had porridge. And that was it. That was it. It was really awkward. I don't think he quite understood that Webber was kind of saying, what a great result. Was it something you had for breakfast? Almost as a bit of a joke, and Bottas didn't seem to really get it. It was a bit awkward, but there we go. You know, fair play to Bottas, though. He had a great race. Last up then, we have Williams. What do we even say about Williams? They're the only team this season to be slower than they were last season. Comparing the qualifying results, the last year's race to this year's race, Williams are about 0.2 of a second slower than last year. Every other team is 0.6 to 1.2 seconds faster, something like that. Williams are slower. What do you even say about them? I mean, honestly, you expect better than that. Yes, they've got a lot of history, but I think in this modern day, perhaps they're just not a modern enough team. You know, they're still very much stuck in their ways. So let's hope they can turn it around. You know, they said they've got a fundamental issue with their car, and it's going to take them a few months to fix, so we shouldn't expect any better results. But what a woeful performance. They're so far off the back, so my God. Well, let's just hope they get it fixed soon. Well, that about rounds it up for this video then. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like. Drop me a comment on what you loved or hated about the Grand Prix. And if you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe, and I thank you for watching. Bye-bye.